Oh, I hate doing intros and shit, you know what I mean? Okay.
You've done this so many times. Cool.
Hello and welcome. Hey, did you know that 89.6% of you guys are not so currently subscribed? If you guys enjoyed the video, please let us know in the comments. Please give us a like and subscribe. It's free. Alright, thank you. Hello everyone. Today we are comparing machines from cheap to expensive. So starting off, we have these. These are some coils that we had brought in by actually a customer of mine. He bought them in a kit. And I think it was like a £60 tattoo kit. And these are the two machines he got, which means most likely that these machines are dog. So we're gonna be seeing how these stack up to the rest. I also have here a lovely little Rotary Works, which was, you know, really nice little machine. This is more of a shading machine because not as much as got that kind of strong stroke for those fat lines, but still will do the job. We then have a Quadron Equalizer V2. This is a bit more on the expensive side now. This is a 3.5 stroke machine and it's more of an all-rounder. And then we also have the Vlad Pro Avenger 2. This is the definition of an all-rounder machine. It's got multiple stroke lengths, so can do this, can do a bit of that. So we're going to be comparing these machines using the fake skin and see how it all holds up. Have here the super cheap coils, and they've actually failed at the first hurdle and will not even start. We've just been troubleshooting this machine, trying to get it to actually start and actually work. And as you can see, if you have a look here, if I press the start, it does not start. Highly do not recommend for real skin, let alone even fake skin. As the Rotary Works is more of a shader than a liner, and we're going to be putting some real fat lines here, actually going to be using this for shading today rather than lining. Instead, we're going to be using this. So this is the Quadron Equalizer V2. This is kind of more of an all-rounder machine. It can do a lot. So it actually passes the first test of starting, and yeah, we're going to pull some lines with it now. The wireless Quadron is super nice. Obviously it's a wireless machine. It pulls these lines really nice, puts them in really nice. I would really only use this for kind of, you know, smaller needle groupings. I wouldn't really use this for anything on the larger side. So, you know, if you wanted to push like something like a 14 round shader, it might be a bit much. But for these smaller needle groupings, it's like 7. Super nice, puts them in, very quiet, very light machine as well, so it's not putting too much strain on your hand. Yeah, overall super really nice liner for those kind of smaller needle groupings, as well as being wireless, which is always a benefit. We're moving on now to the Vlad 2 Pro Avenger. This is pretty much my daily driver. This is what I use for everything. Super versatile machine. If you actually have a look on the top here, you can see that it has adjustable strokes to it as well. So it can do everything from 3.2 all the way to a 5.5 stroke. Super strong, powerful machine. Has a lot of hit to it, but it can push these lines just as well as it can push others. Okay, so now we're going to be trying out the shading machines. So This is step one for the terrible £5 coils that we bought. Will it turn on? It will turn on. So this one actually does turn on, but now we can see how it works in action. This is a shader rather than the liner. Liner being the one that didn't turn on. We can see how it works, as you can already tell. Super loud, and it's got a lot more weight to it. Not necessarily a problem, the loudness is quite like normal with coil machines, but we'll see how it performs. I'm not thinking it's going to perform that well. I guess we'll call them Poundland coil. The Poundland coil actually performed a lot better than I was expecting. It put them in nice, but the problem with this is if you can even actually see, in terms of the kind of like the smoothness of the blends that we're getting on these, this was done with the coil, is that not only was the coil actually cutting out while we were in the skin, it also was cutting out as we were pulling off these whips, which makes a lot of our whips doesn't look as smooth as they could be. This isn't something you could use on real skin. The way real skin reacts as well compared to how it fake skin reacts is very different. So while it looks okay and it performed a lot better, it actually functioned as a tattoo machine, which is nice. I would never use something like this on a human being ever. I have no trust for it at all. So then we have the rotary works. So the rotary works actually pulled off some really nice whip shades. That was a direct drive machine. Direct drive means that the actual needle itself is directly attached to the rotating part of the machine, which gives us a little bit more of a harder hit. So we're getting not as smooth a gradient, but we're getting some really nice whips out. Now this type of stuff is perfect for my style, which is traditional. So it's got a bit of a harder hit. Excellent machine, really nice for whips, and you can pack with it as well. So then we have the Quadron. So the thing about the Quadron is that this is a super soft hitting machine. In fact, if I turn it on onto the mic, you actually hear it. It's a super quiet machine, very delicate hit. So these are actually the same stroke, but because of the direct drive, this actually hits a bit harder, this one. But if you have a look at this eye, you see how much of a nice, beautiful, smooth gradient we can get. Pull that off so nicely with this. But it really depends what you're using it for. Both of these can perform, both of these can line, but if you're looking for specific things, like myself, for example, I'm always looking to power lines, so I'm always putting in really big, fat lines. I wouldn't really use either of these for anything lining related. So for example, a smaller, thinner line, these would work absolutely fine. They're both really nice machines. This one is just, obviously you're getting a bit more into a higher price range because this has to be wired. It's got a lot kind of more like moving parts to it. It's not as simple. Whereas this, you just change out the battery. It's got a really great battery life as well. Super light as well. This both quite light, but this is a tiny bit on the heavier side. But both of them pull off nice kind of these gradual shades. But if you're looking for more of a smoother shade, it is definitely the softer hitting Quadron over the rotary works. Then we have the Vlad Blad. Now the Vlad Blad actually put most of these in. Most of this was done with the Vlad Blad, and you can see it. We can pull off such a nice whip with the Vlad Blad. And I'm sure we showed it in the video, but you can see the adjustable stroke is what makes this machine so worth it. Because not only does it hit super hard for when you want it to. It can also hit super softly and super gradually as well. This really is truly an all-in-one. It can do everything. It can do everything from putting in those lines nice and hard, just as we want them, to also putting in really nice, soft, gradual shading. So the Vlad Blad is really what you're getting. This is a wired machine. It is a little bit on the louder side, but it's still a rotary. It's more of a sidewinder than a coil, so it's not as loud, and it really is actually just perfect for what does exactly what you kind of want it to do. I'm going to be a little bit biased. This is my daily driver machine, so I use this all the time, just for putting in fat lines and also getting out really nice whip shades as well. The thing is about all these machines is you can accept these. All the other machines you can use, they're all built for different things. You know, the price, it kind of depends what you're looking for. The big reason we got such a big price tag on the Vlad Blad is because it's got such versatility, and it can just be used in any situation, really. You don't need, you know, if you've got one of these, pretty much an all-rounder, lovely machine. But yeah, moral of the story, eBay tattoo machines really are never going to be able to hold up to the professional ones that you can tell were actually made by artists for artists, other than mass-produced for cheap use. They're just not going to give you the same kind of consistency that you want, especially when doing something as important as tattooing. How long was that?